Hello there. The Remoaners have really lost it now, haven't they? As per usual, please like, subscribe and comment below. And when subscribing, please do press that little bell, but also select the all option, or you won't get any notifications when I publish a new video. The supermarket chain Morrisons came under fire over the last few days for committing a heinous anti-EU crime in the eyes of the Remoaners, or more accurately today's rejoiners, those that want to reshackle the UK to that failing EU monolith. And what is it that Morrisons did? Well, the label on their pre-prepared chicken said, "British chicken, salt and pepper chicken crown, roast in the bag." But it also included the offending words, "made from British chicken and non-EU salt and pepper." And as a result, the entire rejoiner chicken-eating world, all the couple of dozen of them, went into a mega meltdown. Twitter was aflame, with threats of dire retribution to be heaped upon the hapless retailer. They promised never to shop there again, write letters to their MPs, blah blah blah. People were tweeting about Morrisons' bosses stoking anti-EU hatred, and some were wittering on about this being a gratuitous slight on the EU, or Morrisons celebrating the exclusion of EU foods, or some other nonsense. I can imagine the teary-eyed frustration from the pro-EU brigade as they smashed away at their keyboards, venting their collective spleen at those who they deem to have offended them. And they're all demanding the offensive non-EU phrase be abandoned. But this has completely backfired on those pro-EU food label fascists, because Morrisons was only obeying the law. Yes, a new EU directive came out last year, while we were still bound by them, that requires retailers to put a non-EU type label on stuff when it comes from outside the EU as part of the bloc's farm-to-fork food strategy. And that directive came into force a few days ago on the 22nd of October. And because we were still under EU single market rules when that rule was issued, the UK had to adopt the rules, and they haven't yet been changed. So what the rejoin mob are demanding is that Morrisons breaks EU base law when selling its food. Also remember that had we still been EU members, this would probably have been met with the total blessing of the Brussels backing brigade. Yes, they'd have nodded in approval and said how nice that the EU was sourcing exotic condiments from far afield. You know the sort of guff these types like to spout. And I assume that under this EU directive that we've sucked into UK law, that we in the UK have to either label our homegrown food as British or non-EU. Anyway, Morrisons has agreed to change its labelling, although appeasement never works, does it? Although how can you specifically say contents are non-EU without saying they are non-EU? It'll take a bit of marketing work to achieve that, one thinks. And I wonder if buried in the EU legislation somewhere are requirements about how prominent the offending term non-EU has to be. In fact, according to The Guardian, yes, the words non-EU have to be 75% the size of the letters used for the word British. For its part, Morrisons issued a statement saying, "Our chicken label is adhering to British packaging regulations. However, we will be redesigning it to make it clear this is not a political commentary." But David Jones, the deputy chairman of the Eurosceptic European Research Group, or ERG, of Tory MPs, said, "Why have Morrisons apologised for following rules originally imposed by the European Union? They must have turned chicken. And who are they apologising to? People who are such fans of the EU that they would prefer a supermarket to break the law. And one telling thing is that it was the pro-EU types that kicked off about this. It wasn't a Brexiteer rubbing the Remainer noses in Brexit, was it? And why didn't the Remoaners use the approach that this was a supermarket warning people that some of the produce came from outside their beloved EU? After all, that's exactly what Brussels intends the rule to be used for within the EU. Now consider this from another angle. All the stuff that we export into the EU will of course have to be labelled in that manner. So when the Remoaners travel into their most favourite nirvana EU member state countries, they will be met with UK produce with non-EU stickers on them. And I bet they'd love it. I bet they'd thoroughly approve and send back pics of them to their pro-EU mates back here in the UK. Would they not feel aggrieved at the anti-UK slight? Not on your Nelly. And that gets to the nub of the issue. They are more anti-UK than most people realise. Their pro-Brussels leanings are just about absolute. These are the people that will be backing Macron in his attempted punishment beatings of Brexit UK. These are the ones that gleefully watch the problems being heaped upon the people of Northern Ireland, fully approving of the EU breaching international law by ignoring the true intent of the Northern Ireland Protocol and the Eurocrat dismissiveness where the Belfast Agreement is concerned. But with this particular issue, the reality is that it is the UK adoption of EU law that has caused this total misunderstanding. So you would think that the pro-EU lot would be celebrating that EU law still exists in the UK, wouldn't you? But no. Now the quickest way around this is for the UK government to issue an updated regulation that says you have to put non-UK labels on stuff not sourced domestically. There, fully and comprehensively fixed. But I bet that would send the pro-EU lobby further into their frothy mess. I would reckon that the Brussels lovers will not be happy until the words "superior food sourced from within the wonderful European Union" are used for stuff we get from the EU in huge prominent text. Now Morrison's has been caught up in Brexit controversy before. But before I get into that, I just want to say a massive thank you to all my Super Thanks, Patreon and PayPal supporters, as well as those that do buy a mug with my mug on it. Links in the descriptions box below. You really do help me keep this channel going. Now this isn't the first time that Morrison's has been involved in a Brexit controversy. Remember the non-Brussels sprouts that Morrison sold back in 2019 in the run-up to Christmas? Or more accurately, them selling Yorkshire sprouts, Lincolnshire sprouts and Scottish sprouts. Now that caused a bit of a storm, didn't it? These Remoaner types are so delicate, aren't they? Maybe they need to be labelled pro-EU, so as to warn the sensible amongst us that they might detonate without warning over the smallest of things. So what's your opinion on this chicken non-event? Please like and comment below.